Welcome to the AEM Subiaco ISO 14001 General Awareness Training. This training will give you an overall understanding of the environmental management system for this facility and how it helps to protect the environment and to provide a safer work environment for our associates. The ISO 14001 is an international standard for managing environmental impacts at the facility. The EMS, or Environmental Management System, is similar to the Quality TS 16949, which you're familiar with, except it directly deals with environmental concerns. All of the efforts at the Subiaco facility are guided by the AEM Environmental Policy Statement. It says that AEM is dedicated to the protection and conservation of the environment. We're all helping to ensure a green future through viable responsibility, global compliance, and the reduction of energy use, waste, and pollution. The overarching goal is to prevent pollution to the environment and to reduce, reuse, or recycle. The AEM environmental policy can be found in the front entrance to the building and in the break room. What is a significant environmental aspect? Environmental aspects are those activities at the facility that have a significant impact or effect on the environment. This effect could be either positive or negative. Evaluation is performed on each identified environmental aspect to determine the impact it would have on air, waste, water, energy, and natural resources. The impact is rated numerically, which tells the severity of the impact on the environment. The severity of the impact, coupled with the likelihood of there being an occurrence associated with the impact, specify the environmental risk associated with the aspect. This calculation is also done to determine the business risk associated with each environmental aspect. These two areas combine to make up the total risk score. Any aspect with an environmental risk score of 29 or above is deemed to be a significant aspect, which means steps must be taken to monitor and plan for events or issues that might occur associated with that aspect. Those environmental aspects are shown in red on the aspect sheet. The aspects found to be significant for the AEM Subiaco manufacturing facility are shown here. Again, each of these environmental aspects are significant because either the risk associated with each of them, the quantity, or perhaps the fact that they are regulated dictates that they could pose a significant impact on the environment. The defining characteristic that makes an aspect significant is the amount of risk associated with that aspect. A good definition of risk is the amount of variation from the expected that might happen. An analysis is made of each identified significant aspect to determine what actions could be taken to minimize the likelihood of an event with that aspect. That is compiled on a form called the Summary of Risks and Opportunities that you see here. On this example, you can see that used oil water haul-off was deemed to be a significant aspect, mainly due to the large quantities that are kept in totes. The risk was listed as being released out of containment. We decided that there was an opportunity to reduce the number of totes that are kept on hand by increasing the frequency that the contractor comes to haul off oily water. An operational control is some action that can be taken to minimize the risk or the severity of an event that might happen. For used oil water haul-off, then, the operational control was to reduce the number of totes being kept on hand. From the chart on the previous slide, you can see that the process is to first identify environmental aspects, determine which of them are significant aspects, brainstorm possible ideas to reduce or eliminate the impact of those aspects. Then the next step is to carry out environmental continual improvement projects, also known as objectives, to eliminate or reduce the impact of the aspect. An example of an environmental improvement project or objective is the project to replace the old vapor lights in the facility, first with fluorescent lights, then to transition to LED lights over the course of 2018 and 19. This project resulted in a reduction of lighting associated electricity usage of approximately 80% and an increase in lumens by 100%. This project was a win-win situation. Another environmental objective was to build a cover over the top of the outside dust collector at the main facility building. This maintains our no exposure certification. This is the environmental objective plan worksheet for the oil and water haul-off project mentioned earlier. The amount of oily water on hand has been reduced by an average of 5,000 gallons. This has allowed us to reduce the number of required storage totes, which in turn has freed up space on the back dock. You might ask yourself, how do I make a difference with the EMS system? There are several things you can do. You can follow all environmental work instructions. You can recycle materials in the proper containers. Conserving resources and energy such as water, electric, and natural gas contributes to our environmental efforts. Of course, being 5S ready, which includes work area organization and cleanliness, helps us do our jobs with a minimum of waste. Another critical effort that you can support is making sure that the proper labeling is present on all chemical in the plant. That includes those secondary containers that are refilled from larger bulk containers. We try to help you understand how you can help make our EMS continuous improvement projects successful. Your support is critical to these projects. We want you to know that your contributions help maintain the effectiveness of a facility's EMS. It is very important that the AAM Subiaco manufacturing facility complies with the ISO 14001, and that each of us complying with our environmental EMS system helps us to do that. The consequences of non-compliance include not being able to win new work with our customers, possible regulatory fines and citations, potential contamination to the environment, lack of environmental stewardship, and finally, it's just the right thing to do. AAM Subiaco periodically conducts inside audits as well as audits conducted by an outside contractor such as BSI. Some of the things you can do to prepare for these audits are: number one, understand the environmental policy statement. Be able to explain what it means in your own words and how does your job affect our EMS. Know the significant aspects and what we're doing to control the risk associated with those. And finally, be able to explain to someone how the facility strives for continual improvement in the environmental. We feel that it's important to keep associates up to date on changes to the EMS system and the key performance indicators, aspects, and objectives of the system. We do this through communications using the daily safety meetings, postings on the EHS communication board. Periodically, information is posted on the television monitors in the break room and the maintenance areas. The EMS policy statement can be found in the front office entrance and in the break room. In case of emergency, the following individuals should be contacted. Thanks for attending this environmental management system training. Again, we can all do our part by keeping our areas clean and organized, reporting and containing any spills, making sure that all chemicals are labeled, learning about the chemicals we use, and conserving energy and resources whenever possible.